I hope all of you are doing well. Do you remember what we learned in last class? We learned a play named The Keys to Heaven. How was the play, children? Did you enjoy it? So today we are going to learn a new poem, and the name of our poem is Three Nonsense Poems. Now listen carefully, children. I'll read the poem for you. Chapter 16, Three Nonsense Poems. There was an old man in a boat who said, I'm a float. When they said, no, you ain't, he was ready to faint. The unhappy old man in a boat. There was an old man of Madras who rode on a cream-colored ass, but the length of its ears so promoted his fears that it killed that old man of Madras. There was an old man of Hong Kong who never did anything wrong. He lay on his back with his head in a sack. That innocuous old man of Hong Kong. Now, I'll explain the poem for you. The name of our poem is Three Nonsense Poems. Children, the name of our poem is Three Nonsense Poems. Now listen carefully. Now we are going to learn the first poem. There was an old man in a boat who said, I'm afloat. When they said, no, you ain't, he was ready to faint, the unhappy old man in a boat. So what did you understand, children? There was an old man in a boat. So once upon a time, in a boat, there was an old man who said, I'm afloat. And he's telling that, I'm afloat. That means I'm floating on the water. When they said, no, you ain't. So they are telling, the other people are telling, no, you are not floating. He was ready to faint. He was ready to faint. Faint means become unconscious. He was ready to faint, the unhappy old man in a boat. So once upon a time, an old man was in a boat and he was telling that I am floating on the water. And when the other people told, no, you're not floating, he was ready to faint. The old man in the boat, the man who was in the boat was ready to faint. Now, here is the next poem, children. There was an old man of Madras who rode on a cream-colored ass, but the length of its ears so promoted his fears that it killed that old man of Madras. Now, this is the second poem, children. There was an old man of Madras. So, Madras is a place. It is the old name of Chennai. So now we are going to learn the second poem. There was an old man of Madras. That means in the older Chennai, there was an old man who rode on a cream-colored ass. So he was riding a donkey. He rode on a cream-colored ass, but the length of its ears so promoted his fears. So what happened, children? But the ass had long ears. It had long ears. And by seeing that, the old man was afraid that it killed that old man of Madras. So he got afraid and he was died. Did you understand, children? Children, now we will see the third poem. There was an old man of Hong Kong who never did anything wrong. He lay on his back with his head in a sack. That innocuous old man of Hong Kong. So this is a third nonsense poem, children. There was an old man of Hong Kong. So in the place called Hong Kong, there was another old man. There was another old man who never did anything wrong. He always did right things. He didn't do anything wrong. He lay on his back with his head in a sack. So he always lay on his back with his head in a sack. Now you can see that picture in your textbook. He covered his face with a sack. That innocuous old man of Hong Kong. What is the meaning of innocuous? Innocuous means not harmful. I-N-N-O-C-U-O-U-S. Innocuous. Innocuous means not harmful. Not harmful. So that old man was not harmful at all. So he was a good person and he lived in Hong Kong. He didn't do anything wrong, but he covered his face with a sack. He covered his whole head with a sack and he lay down. Did you understand, children? So we learned 3 nonsense poems. All these poems do not have any common sense. These poems do not have anything in general to learn. This is just 3 nonsense poems. Did you understand, children? This is written by Edward Lear. Edward Lear is a writer. This is 3 nonsense poems. Now we will do an activity. Now we are going to do an activity. Now look here, children. Sounds and pronunciation. Complete the rhyming pairs with words from the poems. Write a third word of your own that rhymes with a pair. So children, for each of these words, we have to write a rhyming word from the poems. Now we will try to do this. See the first one, afloat. Afloat. So there is a word that sounds similar to afloat in the first poem. That is road. We can write here road. Now you have to find another word that sounds similar to afloat. We can write here boat. Boat. Now see the next one. Ain't. Ain't. So we have to find another word similar to ain't. We can write here faint. Now can you tell me another word? Yes, we can write here paint. So both of these words are similar to ain't. Now see the next one, ears. Ears. Now we can write 2 words, fear and tear. Fear and tear. Now we have another word here, back. Can you tell me 2 words that are similar to back? We can write sack and rack. Now we have another word, Hong Kong. Hong Kong. We can write here wrong song. So children, we did this activity. Did you understand? Now look here, children. How many nonsensical things can you say by combining the words in the 3 columns? Write them down. So children, we have 3 columns here. With all these words, we have to create some nonsensical sentences. See the first one, cat barking at the cat. Doctor sailing in the sky. Bicycle flying an electric post. Television watering at a cat. So with all these words and phrases, we have to make some nonsensical sentences. I'll show you an example. We can take cat from this box, flying from this box, and in the sky from this box. We can write here cat flying in the sky. So children, this is a nonsensical thing. Can a cat fly in the sky? No, this is not possible. But we can create a nonsensical thing like this. So children, rest of these sentences you have to write as your homework. Children, today we learned some new words and their meanings, and also we learned 3 nonsense poems. So you have to read the textbook and send me the video of your reading exercise. Also, you have to write the meanings of the new words in your notebook. Now, I'll send you the answers of comprehension questions. Once you do all these homeworks, take a photograph and upload it in school WhatsApp group. See you in next class, children. Thank you.